Hi everyone, thank you for coming and gathering today. We're going to talk about a special, very important topic about exercising during pregnancy. Everyone knows that this is such a life-changing event and it is such an awesome time in a woman's life. So important because your life is going to change in 9 months. Your body is constantly changing and going in through different phases through the first trimester, second trimester, and the third trimester of your pregnancy. Most women have the misconception now that they believe they shouldn't be exercising during pregnancy and they take time to just constantly eat and not exercise and get up and move around. We live in a very sedentary world, and actually this is very incorrect. From the beginning of time, women were exercising, although back then it was just a way of living, so it wasn't necessarily taken as exercise. So today we're going to talk about the importance of exercising throughout the different changes of your body and how it is safe to do it with your physician's okay and approval. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of the history and then let you know why it is important for us to be doing this as women when we find out we're expecting that little bundle of joy in the next 9 months. So let's get started. As I started to briefly discuss the history about exercise during pregnancy, let's talk about the 18th through 20th century. It was very favorable for women to exercise to help ease the labor pains and also help reduce the fetal size. Average babies can weigh between 6 and 7 pounds. Obviously, under that would be very low birth weight, and over that would be excessive um, birth weight, which can lead to more complications and internal bleeding, things like that, that is not something that a woman wants to have to deal with when having to deliver a baby. So exercising will help reduce these different complications that can happen. Other complications that could happen could be gestational diabetes, hypertension, high gestational weight gain, and long-term risk of overweight obesity. Um, None of these things are anything anybody wants to develop, and you can take a handle on your own life and on your baby's life if you just decide to stay active during pregnancy. Back then, women were constantly running around tending to their homes, tending to animals if they lived on a farm, um, baking, cooking, bending, lifting, things like that, which all of that is exercise. Nowadays, people think that exercise is just staying in a gym setting and that's how you get your exercise in, which is totally incorrect. There's so many different ways to exercise and get your body active and moving than just going to a gym and lifting weights that most people don't even know how to do. And not that it's unsafe to do any of those things. Obviously, like I stated before, it will have to be cleared by the doctor, but nowadays we have a different approach of just sitting down and just waiting for things to happen, more of that sedentary lifestyle that we need to just be aware of. And especially while we're pregnant, we can't just stop doing so many things and even more sedentary because we're growing a human life inside of us. So let's continue the PowerPoint and see what's next. Let's take a look at this slide. From the very beginning, it talks about how since 1983, it's increased about 45% of women beginning overweight or obese through their pregnancy. This is outrageous. I mean, a fetus or a baby actually only weighs, it should only weigh about 6 to 7 pounds at birth. So all that extra weight is not okay to be carrying around. I mean, only 1 in 4 of pregnant women meet their exercise requirements. This is absolutely crazy to me because there's so many diseases and things that you can avoid while being pregnant and putting your life and your baby's life at risk. Let's go ahead and take a look at this blue box that says pregnant women with the recommendations with respect to exercise during pregnancy. It's about 150 minutes that you have to exercise. If you break that down 5 days a week, that's only a half an hour a day. And if you want to break it even further, that half an hour can be broken down into two 15-minute uh, walks if you only have a break at lunchtime or breaks throughout your work time. Just that little bit of extra exercise can work because we are so great at coming up with excuses of why we cannot exercise. Exercising doesn't mean just being in a gym setting that you just have to sit there and watch everyone else around you, or just jump on the treadmill because you feel like you can't do anything else because you're pregnant. None of those things are true. You are still living. It's just now you have a little bundle of joy growing inside of you. In that blue box, it also states that if you're not, you know, meeting the recommendations, you can not deliver the proper oxygen that you need to for your baby. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know that when I was pregnant, I want to make sure that my baby was as healthy as possible. And oxygen is something that we need to live. And if exercising for me is going to deliver that oxygen to my baby, then why wouldn't I do that? We do so many other sacrifices for them while they're alive. We need to take it more seriously while we are pregnant. Um, it also talks about, the increased uterine contractions. I don't know about you guys, but those contractions are not fun. They're not. And if it's going to help reduce those contractions and make them not as strong, that would be amazing to be able to do something and not have to rely on medicine, but what your own body is capable of doing. The real question here is to exercise or not to exercise. That seems to be a very huge question for women, especially while they are pregnant. Let's take a look at some of the benefits that exercising can do. It can help boost your energy, but we know that even not being pregnant, it helps boost your energy. It helps you sleep a lot better. It helps lower your risks of certain pregnancy complications. It helps reduce pregnancy discomfort. It helps prepare your body for the childbirth that it's about to get to. It helps reduce stress and lift up your spirits. It improves your self-image, and it helps to get your body back because we all want our body backs. I don't know about you guys out there, but I know that I could not wait to get my body back after I was pregnant. These are all things that we have to think about during the process. Um, because if you don't exercise, you can develop the gestational diabetes. Um, and you can, and the risk factors on all of that, are already people who are overweight, certain ethnic groups, urinary problems, your age, your genetics, all those things are already working against you. So why not think about something that you can do to help prevent any of those things? All this complications to your baby for just simply a few minutes a day, like 15 minutes twice a day, could be something life changing. I can't stress enough. We've been talking about the complications that can happen for not exercising. I don't know about you, but the lady in the reclining chair does not look very happy. And that is not something that I would want to look like if I was pregnant, because she doesn't look very comfortable. She doesn't look very happy. She doesn't look like she wants to get up or get out. Uh, you know, the little turtle that's upside down is tired and looks like they just don't want to move or do anything. And just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you're dying. It means that you should take advantage of this time and be careful about your weight. Be careful about having a bigger baby. Already having an average sized baby could be dangerous to some. So why not help keep that birth weight at a more normal birth rate than overeating and making this baby huge and then having to end up in a C-section, because most people don't want to have a C-section. Preeclampsia is another thing that is just something nobody really wants to have. You know, the nausea, the vomiting, the having to be in bed rest, all of those things is not something that is fun. And exercise can help reduce any of these signs if you just get active. I don't know about you guys, but I want to know what can you do? What is it that you can do? What is it that you can't do? Some people don't know what to do. Like I've already stated, walking is something great that you can do. Swimming is another great example of workouts that you can do, and it helps work out your whole body, and you don't feel as heavy when you're in the water. Stationary cycling, low impact aerobics, yoga, Pilates, all those things are going to be awesome to help strengthen your body, to help get your body ready, as if it's going to war. um, I know that, all these little mini workouts that I have here, for examples, are just a few from so many out there. A great thing to do would be get into a group setting where everyone in there is pregnant and they're all going through different trimesters and changes in their body, just like you are. Um, there's so many different things that you can do to constantly get active and so many things to stay away from. The only thing that I found to really stay away from would be any ab work, and obviously that is because your organs inside and everything are constantly moving, and as your tummy gets bigger, I don't know why you're really working on abs. But the not so fun facts about that, if you look at that little blue box again, uh, would be, less than 25% of pregnant women exercise regularly. 40 to 60% are completely inactive. Now that's crazy that just to not be active at all. Um, Pregnancy should not be, a confinement time in your life. And rest and relaxation, yeah, it does seem important, which it is important, but there's things that are not strenuous and you can have fun and just get out there with your friends and still continue living your life and making sure that you're healthy for you and your baby. The thing that has to change first and foremost is your mindset. Your body's not going to do anything that your mind isn't willing to do. So you have to change your mind from constantly giving yourself barriers and saying that you can't do this or you can't do that because you're pregnant. You have to change your mind about that. Nobody likes to feel nauseous or fatigued or short of breath or, have any heartburn, leg cramps, body soreness, none of those things. None of those things sound funny, even just reading them out loud to you. It doesn't seem fun. So if you can just get moving and help all those things out, why wouldn't you do that? It does. It all starts in your mind. It all starts with you. You're the one that's going to make the change in your life. You're the one that has to decide, I want to not be the normal, pregnant sedentary person who just wants to eat for two because you're not really eating for two. That baby is so tiny inside as it's growing, and it only grows towards that last month is when it's the biggest. But all those other months in between, you have to think, what can I do to allow my child to be healthy and myself to be healthy, that I can care properly for this baby after it is born? It's not just during the pregnancy you have to worry about. A lot of these barriers can change just by you simply believing in your size. It doesn't, in your mind, it doesn't matter that, what your appearance looks like. It doesn't matter, that you're pregnant or that you shouldn't be doing that. None of those things matter because pregnancy is such a beautiful thing. And the fact that your body is constantly changing, you just need to look at it as a different way to exercise, but it's still healthy and it's still something great and you can do it. You just have to believe in yourself and just get out there and just start moving. My last and final thought for you, obviously, along with exercise, you do have to have a healthy diet. Please remember to eat at least 5 times a day. Every 2 hours, you should at least be snacking on something healthy. If you're having those crazy cravings, that could be because you're lacking something in your diet. So just go over what you're eating, keep track of it. MyFitnessPal is such a great thing to help track what you're eating. You can also figure out what else you need to eat so you're not overeating. Of course, getting out there and getting moving. Just remember, it all starts with you. It's all in your mind. So get that movement going. Start that exercise program. Get into that new healthy you with your new little bundle of joy. And congratulations. And I hope that we can talk further about this.